Hello, everyone. My name is Kama Burton. I'm the founder of Loving Me First. And I decided that I wanted to start just talking to some people that I know, people I may run into, and just talk to them about what would you tell your younger self. So it actually this thought came from I was like on Facebook, and I could have sworn I seen Courtenay, who's our guest today, say something about what she would have told her younger self like over a year ago. And it stuck in my mind because I know a lot of times, especially as young girls, you all are doing some of the things right now that may not be as healthy for you later. You may be making decisions right now because you feel like, well, I should be able to do what I want to do. And I'll tell you, we have been through some stuff. And my goal is that we're not trying to like change your narrative. Well, maybe we are, depending on what road you're headed down.
Mhm.
But our goal is to make sure that at the end of the day, you have something that you can take with you. So when you are about to make that whatever decision you wanted to make, you can say, "Oh, I heard Courtenay say this, or I heard Kama say that." Just something that is going to resonate. So we're just going to give you what we wish we would have told our younger selves that would have probably not blocked us to get to where we are today, because we still a work. I don't know about you, Courtney. I'm still a work in progress. So
Every day. Yeah.
I'm still working on some stuff.
Yes.
We know life happens, right? We know
Mhm.
things happen in life. There's no perfection. But what if we can help you by giving you some of the tools or tips or techniques or whatever it is that we'll share with you all, some of the regrets or what have you that we'll share
Mhm.
with you that will help you say, you know what, I was about to do that same thing. I am so glad I didn't go down that road. So with that said, Courtenay, I've been knowing her for quite a while now. We've done business
Yeah.
together. I'm always her broker, even though I'm not her broker on record. I'm always the boss.
Yes. Yes,
Okay.
boss.
I'm glad to have you on here. So we're going to just start off with that first question. What is that thing that you wish that or that one thing that you would have told your younger self?
You know, it's really funny or ironic or maybe not divine that we're even having this conversation. I recently was on this national platform and kind of put I'm a business out there. That's what the platform was. And of course, lots of views, whatever, and another conversation ensued. And that was one of the things that the young lady asked me on her platform is, you have a daughter. What is it that you would tell your daughter? So I'm a mom of five, my only princess, and that's still weird. She's seven. And so I haven't really gotten that
Mhm.
far as, deep conversations. Not that I want to wait till she's 15, but what I can see now, the things that I could say now, and that I'm sure will still be relative when she is older, is slow down. There is no rush. You couldn't tell me anything when I was 16, 17 years old. I was grown, and that was that. And yeah, that was it. I was in the dorms at 17 when I got accepted to college at 16. And just because you have intellect or intelligence
Mhm.
doesn't mean maturity and common sense is in place.
Right.
We've discovered at this point in life that your brain is not even developed until you're 25. So I would say slow down. Whatever it is that is urgent at 16, 17, 18, even at 25, likely is not going to be at 35, 40. So I would say slow down. It is not it's not a race. The Bible even talks about that. The race is not given to the swift, but those that endure to the end, right? It is not a sprint.
That's right.
It's a marathon in life. And it doesn't really matter when your purpose comes to pass. And I think a lot of times we derail our purpose, right? I still believe purpose and promise will come to pass, but I think sometimes in our haste, we derail it.
Yeah.
And I know specifically in buying a house with you, that's a good example. And I was way past a child. I think 38 when I bought my first house, maybe 35, somewhere in there.
Mhm.
Um, and I specifically remember that I was like, ooh, I had just got out of a relationship, and I'm like, oh, I thank God this didn't go through till I was single. Because I would have
It
been like,
happens
come
that
on,
way.
come on. So I'm like, oh, I see what God did right there.
Yes.
Even at that big age,
Yeah.
is like, no, girl,
Mhm.
slow down, slow
Slow
down.
down. I
Definitely.
love that. I think that is like the best advice, because our young girls feel like they have to be ahead of things, ahead of themselves.
Mhm.
And I think a lot of it does have to do with the fact that they have this thing right here at the palm of their hands. We didn't have that growing up. We barely
Mm-mm.
had pagers. So
Yeah.
we to have the access that we have, the ladies that are watching, you don't have to rush to being seen and
Mm-mm.
develop, or not develop, because sometimes you cannot change your development,
Yeah.
but there's things that you can kind of slow down in, maybe sometimes in the way you wear things,
Mhm.
how you put yourself out there. And I'm not talking about just
Mhm.
your body, I'm just talking about just period. Because sometimes
Mhm.
we want to be seen. And I'll tell you, I see it a lot of with our young Black girls. We struggle, we go through a lot,
Mhm.
because there is so much that is on our shoulders. And
Mhm.
I find it when I work with some of the girls in the school, and I find that some of them, not all of them, so just to be clear, some of the girls tend to be a little bit more out there, loud, got attitudes and things like that, because they feel like they have to fill a shoe, instead of kind
Mhm.
of taking the back road to say, you know what, let me just be slow to speak and swift
Mhm.
to hear. Let me listen
Mhm.
a little bit more, but then I got to be a certain way in front of my friends, and I don't want to be embarrassed and things like that. And it's like, no, just take your time, because it'll help you when as you get older, and you're in those jobs, like being an entrepreneur, dealing with real estate, dealing with people. I'm learning
Mhm.
now. Slow down. Did I freeze? Looks like we froze a little bit. Can you hear me okay? So it's just important, like with the young girls, that they should just kind of take a seat back and just listen, because as a real estate broker, and as I'm growing as an entrepreneur, as a business owner,
Mhm.
I have to listen, and just sometimes, just like I got to snap off. It doesn't always turn out the greatest.
Yeah.
So slow down was good.
I would say, and as a woman, and what came to me right now is I've never gotten in trouble from being quiet.
Very
A
true.
lot of my trouble was running my mouth. Because that's just, some of my personality. And thankfully, I'm a corporate facilitator now, so I get paid to talk.
Yes. Yes.
My
Yes.
cousins would laugh because they
Oh,
would
you got
they would
elevated.
yes, ma'am. Oh, yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
congratulations.
Thank you. Yes. So that is my role. I'm in human resources with learning and development at a bank, and I'm a corporate facilitator. So yes,
Wow.
I get paid for the gift of gab.
Oh, wow.
Um, yeah. So, but growing up, it was just a lot of gab, and people couldn't appreciate the gift.
Right.
So, and even in this season, and I think that's the thing too. Like I'm 41 and I'm learning still. Like I'm still learning, and I'm like, so this is a season of, for me personally, just being quiet. Like my head is down, and I'm just going. Because I've had to learn the hard way. Everybody is not there to celebrate your wins. Everybody's not necessarily there to encourage you, right? Some people are just there to wait for the slip up, to watch you
Mhm.
fall, to talk about you. And me, I'm very vocal, right? And
Yeah.
so I'm learning to be quiet when it's necessary. Um, and then understanding how to read a room.
Yeah.
A lot of times we are quick to respond. And again, it's been advantageous, but it's also got me in trouble. But I've never gotten in trouble from being quiet.
Mm.
So I think sometimes it's just with the slowdown, it's hush, hush
Let me
and
ask,
listen.
let me ask you. So now that you're silent, do you hear more? Not necessarily just people talking to you, but like
Mhm.
just like you said, reading the room. Like, do you find that it's actually more fulfilling or elevating you in certain ways? What do you see
Yeah.
with the quieter that you are?
Yeah. I really am operating in a season of I go back to scripture, right? I realize everybody is not Christian or what, but what's in you is just going to
That's
come
in you.
out you.
That's right.
And the Bible talks about, like vengeance is God's, like he's got it. And a lot of times I am, due to decisions on my own, and being a single mom, and you might be able to relate to some of this, is you just go, you just do. I don't count on anybody else. But really, this is a season of, okay, I'm still going, that's my nature, that's what it is. But some of that sit back and observe has been beneficial.
Yeah.
Even just the peace that comes with that, right? I don't got to interject in everything. I don't have to respond to everything. It's just like, all right. Somebody said to me once, and I was like, oh, let them live their lie in peace. I
Mhm.
don't gotta advocate for me.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? Your gifts will make room for you. God's got it. And people gonna believe what they want to believe anyway.
they
So
are. And they love to believe the lies. I tell
yeah,
you, they love to believe
yeah.
the lies. All right, so next question for you. What are some additional tips that you would give any young lady that's watching? And I know our audience literally can vary from uh, probably middle school and up. And
Hmm.
for those that don't know, I work with, I have a mentorship program in a couple of the school districts, and we mentor from elementary school to high school. And I'll tell you, the elementary school babies need this, and as you heard Courtenay say, her 7-year-old needs this as well. So we're talking from an audience possibly, and I don't know if the babies will be on, probably more like maybe high school, middle school,
Hmm.
but I know, we're definitely going to have some women adults that's listening. So what would be your like a tip that you would give them just moving forward in life?
You're not the sum total of your mistakes,
Mm,
right? You're allowed to fail forward.
yes.
um you don't lose value because of the choices you make,
Mm,
right? You're gonna make a mistake. To be human is to err,
yeah,
right? And some things, if we're being 100% honest and transparent, some things are not mistakes. It wasn't, oh, I didn't know, it's just I chose to do.
that's right.
um and maybe didn't understand what was the result or what was going to happen in the end, right? Hindsight is 2020. You gain wisdom a lot of times with just age and maturity. But yeah, you're not the sum total of your mistakes. All have fallen short.
Oh,
You will continue to fall short. um so I think the best thing to do is to seek wisdom and guidance, right? I try to, with my daughter or my kids in general, like say, okay, the fire is hot, right? I don't need you to touch it in order to see that. I'm telling you. But they're human. They have their own mind, their own thought process. And sometimes folks got to get burnt.
they do.
I can't save them from everything. So my mama couldn't save me.
Mhm.
That's what Jesus is for. And at the end of the day, like I said, I've seen the manifestation of the prayers of the righteous availeth much, and what is in you really will manifest. So it's about foundational things, knowing your worth, trying to be cognizant, quieting the noise. I think that's like the thing, not going back, because I feel like a lot of our youth um do have pretty good foundations coming up. Some I know come from a struggle. I get that, but I feel like a lot of us, because people that when they would hear my story, the first thing they, oh, your daddy must have not been in the home, and I'm like, no,
Mhm.
he was here for 40 years, bless,
Yes, yes,
until he passed. And no, my parents were married for 40 years, and
yeah,
because people make their own choices.
that's right.
But I would tell my younger self, and I would tell the youth, to kind of quiet the outside noise. If your parents have been good to you for the bulk of your life, you got to 15, you got clothes, you got a roof, you get to school, they might know a little bit about what they talk, just a little bit. I
Yeah.
get it that they old and they don't relate. I understand, but my joy as a parent is all I want for my kids is to be at peace, to prosper as their soul prospers, and to be in a position to give back. I don't want nothing from you. So there is no gain in me seeing you fail. I'm
Yeah,
not telling you something because I don't want you to be happy or I don't want you to enjoy life. I'm telling you because sometimes parents can see the bigger picture.
that's right.
Yeah. So
Right.
slow down, quiet the outside noise. And if somebody's been good to you for the bulk of your existence, they might
No,
be still telling you right.
that's right. That's right. Well, no, that's all good things. And I'm hoping that for those that are listening, that you're sharing this, that you are taking this in and really meditating on this, taking time
Mhm.
to really think about it. Sometimes we have to listen to things several times before we
Yes.
get it and understand. Trust me, we are not against you. Our goal is to be there
No.
for you, to help you with your mental, because it's just too much out there right now that is really, really trying to take over. And we want you young ladies to understand that you matter. Everything
Yeah.
about you matter. Your thoughts, your heart, your ideas, you matter. And I know it may feel like everybody's against you, but sometimes
Mhm.
it takes time to quiet
Mhm.
out some of that noise to see
Mhm.
who is really around you so you can reach out to the right person. So, with that
Absolutely.
said, is there anything else you want to leave?
Just encourage the young ladies, like you're beautiful inside and out. You're precious. And it is not about a snippet on IG, right? That there it is so many filters and so like that's not real life. Your value isn't predicated on a relationship. um it's not predicated on your education. You are valuable because you're here. You are purposeful because you're here.
Yeah.
So I pray that everybody gets to discover their gifts and walks in their purpose, like walks it out. But just your mere existence is enough, and I pray you make good choices.
Well, thank you for that. I'm excited because Courtenay is my first guest. I'm excited because we have so much more to come, and continue to follow us. We are on Instagram under lovingme.first. So that's lovingme.1st. Subscribe to our YouTube page. We're new. We're building. You can also find us at Loving Me First, and that's spelled out LOVINGME FIRST. And of course, it'll be flashing somewhere on here. Follow us and subscribe to our newsletter. We have some great information that will be coming up. One of the things that I'm really working on, and I want you all to read the newsletters. I have a therapist that will be talking in the newsletter, giving you all tips and tools. And I know people say they don't believe in therapy, but the Bible tells us that there is there is safety in the multitude of counsel. Okay, so
Jesus and
yes,
therapy.
our pastors don't know it all. Let me tell you that right now.
Hello.
And
Hello.
I'm,
Oh,
I'm
that's a
one
whole
girl.
nother show, girl.
They don't know it all. We got to go to the multiples. So
Yes.
I want you guys to reach out to Shanae Dennis, and she is
Oh,
also. So you'll find some information in regards to her. So if it's not her, find someone that will help you all through this. And parents, it's okay that your child wants therapy.
yeah.
It is okay. We have to be comfortable. You are not the end it all. We can take it to Jesus all we want to, but we have to act on faith. And we have to do
I've told my
things.
kids, I don't have to be your safe place. I'm here.
I love that.
But I understand that sometimes you don't want to talk to your parents.
That's right.
I just need you to find a trusting adult. Mommy will find a trusting adult. I have kids in therapy. My adult son goes on his own accord. And I
Beautiful.
said, that you are so far ahead of the game. You're
Oh
choosing to
yeah.
do this on your own at 20 by the time you're 30. But
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Because the minute you got here, it, by virtue of being on earth, you're going to need to talk to somebody at some point in life.
Period. Period.
Especially being a black man in America or black
Yes.
women, minority. There's just
Yes.
so much going on. And yeah, prayer and seeking wisdom is a good thing.
Yes, yes, and I'm
Yeah.
glad you mentioned that, and I hope you all heard that. So let's make going to counseling, going to therapy. Let's make that normal. Let's
Normalize it.
normalize
Yep.
that. we need it. So with that said, I am Kama Burton, founder of Loving Me First. And our goal is just to help you discover who you are so you can love who you are first. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch. Remember to follow our social media pages as well as subscribe to our YouTube page. Thank you so much. Thank you, Courtenay. I appreciate
it. Thank you. All right. Bye-bye.
Bye.